viewers, and welcome to your flagship program, Archibuilt On Air. I'm your host, Christine Akume. Archibuilt On Air is brought to you by Archibuilt Development Services Limited, ADSL. Now, this program is designed to showcase, enlighten, and educate the public on the activities as well as the challenges in the built environment. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll dig into the business of the day. Don't go away. Welcome back. You are still watching Archibuilt On Air. Sitting next to me is the past president of the Nigerian Institute of Architects, NIA, and the chairman, Archibuilt Development Services Limited, none other than Architect Mohammed Fawon Raja. Thank you for coming today,
Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me.
No problem, sir. So we're going to be talking about Archibuilt Development Service Limited, that's ADSL. How did it all begin?
The Archibuilt started about 33 years ago. The thought of having Archibuilt started about 33 years ago. It wasn't called Archibuilt then, but the idea was 32 years ago, we had no reference points. Architects, if you want to design, you need reference points. What are the materials available? What are the technologies available? Around that time, the only reference we had was British catalogs. Now, after specifying these products, since we don't manufacture them here, when you want to start your building, you may not have these materials readily available. So the Nigerian Institute of Architects then thought that there's need for us to know what is available in Nigeria. Apart from knowing what is available in Nigeria, it will also encourage manufacturers locally to look at what they can produce in Nigeria. And that was what now informed the inauguration of a committee about 32 years ago. And this committee was under the council of the Nigerian Institute of Architects. So Archibuilt as an exposition started precisely about 31 years ago. We started at the National Theatre in Lagos. It held there for about 6 years, but because there was need to centralize the location, you expect architects from all over the country. You can imagine somebody traveling from Sokoto to Lagos, somebody from Maiduguri. So it was moved to Abuja. It's central, and it has remained here since that time. Now, Archibuilt started growing. We started with just about, I think, less than 12 exhibitors in National Theatre. I started growing and now having over 100 exhibitors with over thousands of participants, professionals, not only architects, engineers, builders, manufacturers. And about 5 years ago, the Institute now decided that it should be properly registered as a business organization. And that was what informed the ADSL, Archibuilt Development Services Limited. So it came into being about 6 years ago with its own full board. It's an independent organization, limited liability, promoted by the Nigerian Institute of Architects and supported by other organizations in the building industry.
Without a doubt, Archibuilt has grown, as Archibuilt Development Services Limited has grown, including the exposition too. With everything you've said, it's obvious that over the years, it's been from one phase of growth to another better phase of growth. Thank you for your time, sir. It's been great having you chat with me. And we'll take a short break. When we return, there's still so much on Archibuilt On Air. Don't go away.
So, how's that guys?
Aha!
What?
The wall doesn't match your elegance.
then we must do something about it right away.
At Royal Ceramics, we offer you a wide range of beautiful wall and floor tiles designed specially to fit your lifestyle.
So, what do you guys think?
Thank goodness we changed to tiles. Like mother, like daughter.
Welcome back. You're still tuned to Archibuilt On Air. Now this is the interview segment, and we'll be moving into a very important topic. Sitting next to me is the second Vice President of the Nigerian Institute of Architects, NIA, and the Director of Archibuilt Exposition, Architect Mobolaji Adeniyi. You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Ma, tell us a bit about yourself.
Oh well, like you've said, my name is Mobolaji Adeniyi. I'm the second Vice President of the Institute, and I'm also the directly in charge with Archibuilt Exposition.
Okay. Welcome once again.
Thank you.
It's nice meeting you. Okay, so let's talk about Archibuilt Exposition. How has Archibuilt Exposition been, and what impact does it have to laymen and also the professionals in general?
Archibuilt Exposition started off 30 years ago, and it started with the Nigerian Institute of Architects trying to fill a gap that we saw in the construction industry. Most of the materials then, of course, used to come from abroad, and we had specifications only for materials that we were importing into this country. We didn't have our own specification notes or data, and we felt we needed to have something to put together building materials that are available in the country, as well as looking to opportunities for developing locally sourced materials in the building industry. And so this is how it started. It started in Lagos 30 years ago. However, since then it's moved on, it's become more national by moving to Abuja. This was because when Abuja became the capital, of course Abuja is central in the nation, so you can have people coming in from all parts of the country. And so what we've been doing in Archibuilt is to encourage building materials manufacturers to come to exhibit their products, and of course we ensure that it's products that meet the specifications of the architects. We know the technical data, and so we're able to ensure that it's only materials that are good enough to be used that we exhibit at these expositions. And of course we've also been focusing a lot on local building materials, and this has helped a lot. Like these days, you have tiles being made in Nigeria, you have roofing sheets, and so many materials which before we used to import. So Archibuilt has been that avenue where people, the general public and professionals have an opportunity to come and see the products that are available and to be able to use it, as well as professionals specify accordingly.
That's great. So it's obvious that it has reached a very, very huge gap.
Yes, it has.
And solved a whole lot of problems. Okay, so you've already mentioned a few things about the impact it has made, which is
Yes.
obvious. Would you like to throw more light on that, on the specific impact it has made on, of course, the layman and not just the professionals in the built environment?
Yes, for the layman, it's really been exciting. I know people that come regularly for Archibuilt. And the reason is they say each time they come, they see a new material, they see a new innovation, and then they're able to talk to the manufacturers directly. And even some come with the problems they've experienced on some of their building elements, and they come for solutions. And so they are excited to come, and we've made it to focus on general things about everyday living. From your home, to your office, to your high-rise buildings, to your estate, we have lighting, we have building materials, we have paint, we have tiles, anything, that takes up a building. So people are excited to come and see the innovations in the building industry. And then it's an avenue for professionals to meet together. We have all the professionals, the engineers, the quantity surveyors, the builders, the town planners, they all come to see what is new in the building industry. And then, of course, we have training sessions, which is also an important aspect for members to come and develop themselves. Of course, not forgetting the students. The students get a lot to learn from when they come. And we've introduced competitions, and especially in the use of local building materials. And that's been an exciting event.
I'm pretty sure it has been
Yes, it has.
really
It has.
exciting. And
It
without a doubt, Archibuilt Exposition has been impactful, enlightening. I mean, I'm sure that each time that exposition is held, it's something to be remembered for over and over and over again.
You're right. This new product, Archibuilt On Air, and the real purpose is, instead of everybody coming to Abuja once a year that we do, there needs to be a regular, information channel for people to see what are the building materials available, what are the professionals doing, what are the issues confronting the building industry. We need to focus more on it. You can see a lot of things happening in the environment.
Yeah.
Buildings are not properly constructed, leading to collapse of buildings. The environment is not properly planned. We're getting all the professionals to come and talk to it, enlighten the public. They don't even know where to go. They don't know what to use.
True.
So it's going to be great.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It is a solution for everyone.
Yes.
It's been awesome having you on the show. Thank you for
Thank you.
chatting with me and enlightening our viewers out there. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and we'll go for the short break. When we return, there's still so much on today's episode of Archibuilt On Air. Don't go away.
So, how's that, you guys?
Aha!
What?
The wall doesn't match your elegance.
Then we must do something about it right away.
At Royal Ceramics, we offer you a wide range of beautiful wall and floor tiles designed specially to fit your lifestyle.
So, what do you guys think?
Thank goodness we changed to tiles. Like mother, like daughter.
Welcome back. You are still watching Archibuilt On Air. Sitting next to me is the president of the Nigerian Institute of Architects. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Now he's going to be talking about the use of professionals in construction projects and the cost implication. Can we meet you, sir?
Thank you. As you said, my name is Sonny Echono. I'm the president of the Nigerian Institute of Architects. The answer to your question is in two dimensions. First, we have a legal framework. We have a law that governs the practice of architecture in this country and also our built environment. And we also have a body we call the Architects Registration Council of Nigeria, whose primary assignment is to enforce that. But beyond that, we also want to inform the Nigerian public on the need to use an architect and the benefits of using an architect, both to the individual and to the national economy. From experience, I can tell you that more often than not, the costs for not using a professional architect far outweigh the fee that you pay to the architect. Because with a good solution, you are likely to get a structure, A, that meets the functional needs for which you want to create that building. Two, it will ensure that the workmanship and the mode of assembling that building meets both his specifications and your intent, which means the building has a likelihood of lasting for a very long time. And your period of enjoying it or deriving revenue from it, in the case of rental accommodation, will be much longer. Similarly, it will also have a reversionary value. It means when you intend to sell, because buildings are basically investments, the building will still be in a sound state to enable you also get good returns during disposal. And how do architects ensure this? We as a profession are holding our members to the highest standards. Indeed, Nigerian architects have been rated as some of the best trained and best prepared around the world. And we have maintained that standard till this day. We have also moving forward to ensure that even the artisans, the workers who help us to translate our designs, our dreams into concrete in real forms, are properly trained. So we are currently collaborating with various agencies. We participated in this National Skills Qualifications Framework. One of the sectors within that framework is the construction industry. We have so many artisans, plumbers, electricians, bricklayers, you have people doing POP, and these are all those who work to bring together, to assemble materials, and to also bring about the designs that we make. We want to ensure that they operate optimally. So we have developed through our practice committee various programs to update their capacity. We have ways of testing their proficiency and ensuring that it's only those who meet a minimum level of proficiency that are also used to participate in building projects. On our own, we have already graduated the various segments of our profession based on your experience, based on your knowledge, and based on your capacity. So we introduce what we call the professional examinations. You must pass those professional exams before you can take responsibility for building projects. And after you take those professional exams, it's just a starting block for us. We have our continuous professional development.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So I think the last thing you didn't talk about was the cost part of it.
The issue of cost, we have to relate this to a national context. All over the world, some of the most prized assets of any country are its holdings in terms of buildings and structures. You find that in many countries, the value you derive from a building depends on what we call the building cycle. Every building goes through 3 different life cycles. There's what we call the functional life cycle, there's something we call the structural life cycle, and the economic life cycle. The functional life cycle is for how long you can use that building for the purpose for which you intended it. The structural life cycle is the one that determines for how long the building can continue to remain stable and retain its integrity. While the economic life cycle is the period during which the value you are deriving from that building exceeds the amount you are expending to maintain or keep it in use. The architect is trained to ensure that your building accomplishes these 3 life cycles. We also allocate land based on a tenure system that gives you 99 years. We want to assist the client to maximize the use of that tenure system. So we cannot afford the current practice where our buildings last for only 20, 30 years on the average. And the reason why this happens, some buildings are built in unplanned areas. So within 4, 5, 10 years, they have to be demolished because suddenly you now want to plan the area. You realize there is no access to some places. Some of them have no access to facilities. Cracks have come up everywhere. The quality of construction and workmanship is very poor. So it is very wasteful for a country to be replacing its entire housing stock within a cycle of 20 to 30 years. The other bit is the maintenance-free construction. Once you do your project well, and it is properly constructed, you will not require to spend too much money. Today there is leakage, tomorrow the plumbing is bad, next tomorrow there is electrical faults, and so on. And it's very frustrating, both for tenants and even the landlord, that you keep spending money on rehabilitating or maintaining your structure. Proper construction with good workmanship, good choice of materials will ensure that the operating cost will be less. And these are things that the professional gives to you. That's why sometimes people say it is better, not to be penny wise and pound foolish. You want to avoid paying a small fee, but the fee you keep paying from the bad work that is done for you, from the replacement of the defective work, and even from the constant expenditure on maintenance and operation, because that has not been thought through at the planning stage. It has not been properly designed. The building has not been adequately supervised to ensure that the highest standards of workmanship are maintained. This is our message to the Nigerian people. Make that little investment. Get the right professionals to advise you you will derive the benefits over a very long period. And those benefits far outweigh your short savings that you are trying to do now, when you now spend a lot more in the cost of using the building and you get frustrated.
Very, very true. A lot has been said. Thank you so much, sir, for being very, very, very educative. I mean, it has been interesting and at the same time enlightening. We'll take a short break, and when we return, there's still so much for you on Archibuilt On Air. Don't go away. Welcome back. You are still tuned to Archibuilt On Air. It's the brand focus segment, and it's a segment designed for construction material manufacturers and distributors to showcase their products and services, as well as prefer solutions to various construction and building challenges, such as waterproofing problems, electrical defects, plumbing defects, and a whole lot more. As a manufacturer or distributor, take advantage of this platform. Call the numbers displayed on your screen to be a part of the show. Now that's it on the brand focus segment. We'll take a short break, and when we return, there's still so much for you on Archibuilt On Air. Don't go away.
It's very important to use professionals, not just in the build sector, but in all ramifications of life, because these people, they went for training to, to be professionals, and they also have the right technique to be able to carry out their various field of study. So it's important we use them, because they'll be able to tell us the right quantity of things to use and what have you. In Nigeria today, sorry to say, we don't use professionals, and that's why we have so many collapsed buildings. But if we try as much as possible to engage professionals, then we would at least reduce that collapsed building, or, dilapidated buildings that we have around us.
From high-end production, manufacturing, to whatever you do, to the low levels, dealing with artisans, it's very important for you to engage a professional. There is need for accountability, and if you engage someone who you can just see on a one-off basis, you don't know how to trace them, you don't know how to hold them responsible for job not properly done, it might be risky in some cases. But if you engage people who have a professional body, that that whatever is the outcome and you're not impressed, you can readily seek redress through those professional associations. It's always very advisable to do that.
I'm very excited for the program, and I would like to let the program continue like this. So because I'm very, very excited about the program, so I'll be glad if the program will continue, so that it will help a lot of people out there.
If you want to build your house, want to have anything doing with building, you need to go to people, the quantity surveyor and the engineer, good engineer that can make everything good for you. Not to taking a quack engineer to come and build the house, at last you collapse. You lose many things, you start afresh again. And if you can give the public to aware, this is good, this is bad, we'll be happy for that.
That has been our time on today's episode of Archibuilt On Air. Remember to follow us on our social media platforms with the handles displayed on your screen. Until we meet again, I'm your host, Christine Akume. Bye for now.